Welcome back, guys. You are tuning in for a Faith Friday video. If you're new here, hi, welcome. I love you already. And if you're not new here, welcome back to the Happy Soul Tribe. So today's video is inspired by a devotional time that I had this week, and I have like all the notes that I took when I originally did the Devo, and the title is about joy. And ironically enough, the reason it hit me so hard the day that I did this is I listened to a podcast by Lewis Howes titled A Spiritual Path for Success, and it was with Erwin McManus, and oh my gosh, you guys, it was so freaking good. And it kind of bounced right off of the Devo that I had done that morning. It hit me like a crap ton of bricks because I think that it was something that I needed to hear with the last couple of weeks being a little bit tough mentally and just struggling. It was really helpful and it really put things into perspective for me. I wrote down this note that really meant something to me. I wrote down, gratitude shifts our perspective. Souls that are alive and happy don't have fewer problems or easier lives. They simply have a new perspective and see a more beautiful life through the eyes of gratitude. And that's really long, but basically, gratitude is like putting on a pair of glasses for the first time, which is what Erwin McManus kind of said. I think that gratitude helps us see our lives more clearly. They help us see what we really truly have in front of us and all the good that is actually in our lives. When we live in a state of anxiety and fear and a state of lack and depression and all of that, it kind of blinds us and we're unable to see all of the beauty that is around us. And I know that I've kind of talked about this in my past Faith Friday videos, but it's just something that I feel like I can't touch on enough. I wrote down, remember that just because something comes naturally to you doesn't mean that it's right. So there's this constant battle between the flesh and the spirit, and the flesh is like our human nature, how we want to live. We want to live for ourselves with selfish desires. We want to only look out for number one, and then the spirit is focused on others and focused on love and focused on peace. And so what comes naturally to us is the way of the flesh. And I wrote down a list of things that I think comes naturally: anger, jealousy, envy, impatience, judgment, pessimism, lying, hiding, fear, anxiety, and worry. Those are all things that we are so quick to grab onto and to run to in times that are difficult. And I don't know why. Those are some of the worst qualities that we could run to first, but it is what we run to. It's our human nature. Those are the things that come more naturally and more easily for us. It's a lot easier to be jealous than it is to choose to be supportive. It's a lot easier to be anxious than it is to trust. It's a lot easier to be angry and react in the spur of the moment than it is to take some time and think on your reaction and think over your words. That's easy. That's what comes naturally. What doesn't come naturally but we have full access to is love, forgiveness, peace, joy, gratitude, wisdom, patience, and grace. So those are the things that come kind of unnaturally for us, but thanks to Jesus, we can access those things. Those are His qualities that He has gifted us to, but we have to choose to tap into them, which kind of all relates back to my very first Faith Friday about fruit of the Spirit. The reason it's so hard for us to live in a constant state of gratitude is because the things that come naturally to us are the opposite of gratitude, and it's hard for us to make the conscious decision to choose gratitude and to look for the good and to look for the light in every day. This little prayer that says, let my heart be freed of grumbling and ruled by gratitude. And that is literally something that I need to pray over myself on a daily basis. I feel like complaining is just the way of the world. Like, we're taught that when life is hard, you whine about it. And I know that I can get caught up in a pattern where I whine. Something goes wrong and I become the biggest baby. And I just whine and I grumble and I complain. And I think that by some way that my complaining will solve the situation eventually and make the situation better. I want my heart to be completely ruled by gratitude, and it will silence the grumbling. The best way to keep ourselves in check in this area and to make sure that we need to step out of the grumbling and into the gratitude is to try and remember every day, and even if it means you have to say it out loud or write it down, remember what the heck God has done for you. What has he delivered you from? What has he done that is great in your life, even if it was years ago? And that should be enough to give you the gratitude that you need every day to see life from a new perspective. And that's kind of what Erwin touched on in that podcast. He said that there's essentially no difference between someone who lives with gratitude and someone who doesn't. Their lives could be exactly the same. This person could have really crap family and all this crap going on, and this person could have the exact same life, but the difference is their perspective. The grateful person sees a totally different situation, a totally different life than the person who chooses to go through life without gratitude. When I remember your boundless grace, let it silence my selfish grumbling. And I think that that's something that's really important for us to remember, is that our whining and our complaining is so small in comparison to what is actually going on in this world. We are put here to love others and spread the light of Jesus, and that's such a big mission, and you're a huge part of that. No matter how crappy life feels, you can choose to be grateful, and gratitude can silence all of the other things that are going on in your life. And then I wanted to end it with the verse. Psalms chapter 107 says, "Give thanks to the Lord, for he is good and his love endures forever. Let the redeemed from the hand of the enemy," which is you and me, "tell their story. He gathered them from the lands. They were hungry and thirsty, but they cried out to him in their distress, and he delivered them. Give thanks to him for his unfailing love." God delivers people. It is his job. He is a savior, and he will deliver you. You just have to trust him. You just have to choose gratitude to endure the storm. And I will catch you guys in the next video. Make sure you go out of your way to love on someone today and make them feel extra special, because they freaking are. That's all, folks. Bye, guys.